The banking system must run like clockwork to keep the economy going. When this mechanism falters, it needs to be able to rely on somebody who will keep the system running. Kiev resident Esmila Yakovna has been saving for several years to have her home refurbished. She also had a sick mother. That is why she deposited a part of her pension with a bank to earn interest and gradually save the necessary amount. The news hit her out of the blue. The bank was announced insolvent.
I contacted the Deposit Guaranteed Fund. They talked to me, reassured me that they were working on my case, and told me to be patient. After a while, they called back to make an appointment at the bank. I went there and collected my deposit in full.
It took Esmila Yakovna, among other depositors, less than 2 months to claim her savings with all interest accrued as of the date of their banks declared insolvent. Now, Mrs. Mila is a depositor in another bank. The Deposit Guarantee Fund is a robust deposit insurance scheme that operates as part of the national financial system. It was established in September 1998 by presidential edict. The fund has been dynamically developing as part of Ukraine's banking sector for the past 15 years. The fund has a mandate to uphold the legitimate interests of several million depositors who have entrusted their savings to banks. At present, 99.5% of all deposits held by member banks are fully insured. Initially, the fund paid up to 500 hryvnias on a retail deposit plus interest. This amount was gradually increased. In 2012, it reached 200,000 hryvnias. Over its 15-year history, the fund has compensated nearly 400,000 depositors for a total of nearly 7 billion hryvnias. The adoption in 2012 of the law of Ukrainian household deposit guarantee system ushered in a new stage in the development of the fund.
The fund has been in existence for 15 years. We are celebrating 2 anniversaries at a time, the fund's 15th anniversary and the first anniversary of the new deposit guarantee law.
The new law took considerable time and effort to adopt. Its approval by Parliament was preceded by extensive consultations involving the banking community, local and international experts and the general public.
This law has stabilized the situation in the financial market vis-à-vis depositors. At the end of the day, this law has a much greater social focus. Banks do fail from time to time, such is life. But the people must be held harmless against such problems and have a way of recovering their deposits without having to wait for 6 months or a whole year.
With the adoption of the new law, the deposit insurance framework now runs like clockwork. The new system is so advanced that it puts us ahead of many countries.
In particular, the new law provides a clear methodology for detecting problems in the banks and for regulators to take timely intervention. It empowers the Deposit Guarantee Fund to pursue resolution of insolvent banks based on a least cost methodology for the Deposit Guarantee Fund and for the state budget. And very importantly, it also shortens the period required for the Deposit Guarantee Fund to make payouts to the insured depositors.
One crucial innovation is the extended mandate of the fund in the area of bank resolution. In particular, this is done through provisional administration or liquidation of insolvent banks.
The law clearly and transparently sets forth all procedures that the fund is to execute at each stage. All those procedures are designed to hold depositors in an insolvent bank harmless against the bank's problems, whatever those may be, and ensure that they continue to enjoy prompt and unfettered access to their deposits.
It is depositors in the first place who have acknowledged the new mechanism's efficiency. The practice of imposing a moratorium on deposit payout pending provisional administration has been abolished. The time period allowed to an insolvent bank to start deposit payout upon revocation of its banking license by the National Bank of Ukraine and commencement of liquidation proceedings has been shortened to 7 days. The maximum term of provisional administration has been reduced from 1 year to 3 months, while the time allowed for liquidation proceedings has been shortened from 3 years to 1 year.
Under the previous legislation, depositors were much restricted in their rights and remedies when dealing with liquidated banks. They had no way of recovering their deposits in a timely manner. By contrast, the new law envisages neither a moratorium nor any other form of payout restriction.
The new law has strengthened Ukraine's national financial safety net. Over the past several years, the fund, jointly with the National Bank of Ukraine, has prominently contributed to the stabilization of Ukraine's banking system.
In July 2012, the National Bank of Ukraine and the fund upgraded to a brand new level of cooperation. The two institutions entered in a cooperation agreement. This agreement has laid new foundations for cooperation between the fund and the National Bank of Ukraine. Under the new law, the fund has taken on powers to resolve insolvent banks. The agreement also envisages more extensive cooperation in data sharing. Deeper cooperation between the fund and the regulator is crucial to the development of the deposit insurance framework. I'm convinced that the cooperation between the National Bank of Ukraine and the fund is a key to ensuring the stability of the banking system. The purpose of this cooperation is to protect bank depositors and creditors.
The new law provides a solid basis for strengthening public trust in Ukraine's banking system as a whole and in individual financial institutions.
We all work towards a common goal. It is not only banks or the fund that pursue it. It is a national goal to raise the public trust and confidence in the financial system. We are glad to acknowledge the fund's valuable contribution to promoting this goal. We have seen growth in bank deposits. Our banking system hasn't seen such strong growth for years. Around 70 billion of Ukrainian hryvnias worth of new deposits have come into the system. These funds will be used to finance our national economy.
The new mechanism for deposit insurance has proved efficient in practice. Yet it requires consistent improvement. The fund has embarked on a 5-year development strategy as approved by the Administrative Board.
It is noteworthy that the strategy tackles a number of aspects that are crucial to strengthening public trust and confidence in the banking and financial systems. As a fund, it is our mission to provide a viable framework for bank resolution, and we are working very hard to put one in place.
The banking system is a complex one, and each of its elements must run like clockwork. No one, however, is insured against accidental failures. The fund has proved that the prompt and timely payout of deposits to the depositors of insolvent banks is critical to retaining public trust and confidence in the entire banking industry. And last but not least, Ukraine now has put in place all the necessary conditions to encourage the public to trust banks and rest assured that their savings are well protected.